days of life try to knock you out, you stick and move and you jab at it. And on the rare occasion that you take a punch from life and it knocks you down, you dig deep, and then you dig deeper, and then you dig even deeper, because you understand that this is the moment to pick yourself up, push through with determination and grit. Because of all your resilience, commitment, hard work, perseverance, you have now put yourself in position to show the world that you got that dog. And your inner dog has no quit. I said, this is the moment to pick yourself up and push through with determination and grit. Because of all your resiliency, commitment, hard work, perseverance, you have put yourself in a position to show the world that you got that dog. And your inner dog has no quit.
I hated jumping out of airplanes. I hated shooting guns. I hated the job as a Navy SEAL. But I did it because I wanted to change myself. Everything I do, I'm not really comfortable doing. But if you choose to go that route, to go be a Navy SEAL, you might as well go be the hardest mother in the world. Because if you're choosing to do something, you have two routes. You can go there and be a little weak person and get through barely, and that's your reputation. Or you can go through the hardest guy you can possibly be, and that's your reputation. So my whole thing is, if you're going to choose to open that door in Iraq or Afghanistan, open the mother and go in hard. Because they're going to remember you by slowly opening it and peeking in. So if you're going to open it, and you made the mind to open it, just crack it open, door, go in. That's with life. If you're choosing to do something, attack it. Because they're going to remember you as not attacking it. So I want to be remembered. You can hate me. There's one thing you can't say about me. I didn't attack it. So that's the mentality you have. If you're going to do something, you might as well attack it. Because you can do it anyway. Right. Who on this earth would still be going right now? You are. You are.
3 reasons most of you are never going to be rich. 1, you do not identify opportunity. The opportunity we're discussing now, which happened on the 12th of March, where I bought 600 grand of Bitcoin, which is now worth in excess of 7 million. I've done zero work. Zero. I've turned 600K into 7 million just because I identified an opportunity. It took me 10 minutes. You're sitting out there thinking, if I just had $1 million, if I could just become a millionaire. That's how easy it is. Now, you probably didn't have 600K to buy Bitcoin like I did. Fine. You could have put 600 in and had 70 grand. 70,000 you could have had from 600. But you do not identify opportunities. This is the first thing you do not do. You do not pay attention to the world around you. You just live in your little bubble. You're too busy arguing with your ugly girlfriend. Too busy stressed out about some dumb shit. Too busy sleeping in. You don't pay attention. You're not perspicacious. This is why you miss opportunities. The first reason you're never going to be rich. Second reason you're never going to be rich. Don't buy a house. Rent a house. So like, oh, but isn't that wasting money? No. What's wasting money is buying a house, giving huge interest rates to a bank, and then tying yourself to one geographical location. The reason humans are the #1 species on the planet is because of our adaptability, the ability to adapt. I can go anywhere on Earth. I can go wherever the money is, where the money resides. If the money is residing in Japan, I can go to Japan. If I need to go to Singapore, I can go to Singapore. I can go live in Las Vegas. Wherever I'm going to get paid, I can go, and I'll just rent. Boom, boom, boom. I ain't got nothing tying me down. It ain't going to take years for me to buy or sell something. I ain't got to worry about all the upkeep and property maintenance. Buying a house is foolish. Now, I'm not going to lie, I do own this house because I wanted it to be exactly the way I want it. But I'm rich, right? You aren't. So you shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, you do not need to buy a house. It's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. It's a psychological thing that your parents have told you. If you own a home, if you own a home, if you own a home. And then I tell people this, and they go, oh yeah, but you can always rent it out. They're going to spend $300,000, on a house so that you can rent out for $800 a month. And then every time the boiler breaks, you're going to spend $500 fixing the boiler. And they're going to damage your house. And by the time they leave, you're going to need a whole bunch of repairs. And they're going to be calling you all the time for hassle and stress if they even pay their rent on time. You think that's a good spend of 300 grand? Do you know what else you could do with 300 grand? Buy Bitcoin. Revolutionary. Your real estate can be on the blockchain instead of out here. Because when it's on the blockchain, it can be sold instantly. You ever tried to sell a house? It takes years. Ever tried to sell Bitcoin? It takes seconds. The second reason you're never going to be rich. Because all your ideas and concepts of how wealth is created are outdated. 3, the third and most important reason you're never going to be rich is because you do not have a plan. You do not have a plan to get rich. Nothing good has ever happened on accident. Have you ever met a guy who's just got covered in muscle, he's got a six-pack? You're like, hey bro, how'd you do that? You've been going to the gym. No man, it was just an accident. Oops. No, he built that body purposefully. He did things specifically to get the result he desired. He ate a specific way. He trained a specific amount. He knew exactly what he was doing. Every rich person knows exactly what they're doing. People who are making money know exactly how to do it. You're sitting there saying, I want to be rich. You don't even have a plan to get rich. How the f are you going to get rich on accident? How's that going to happen? Oops, I'm a millionaire. Never! One of the only things in this world you can control is your state of mind. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't even control your health. You might get a brain hemorrhage, or you might get hit by a bus. You might get assassinated. One of the very few things in the world you have genuine control over is your state of mind. You decide if you're a disciplined person. You decide if you're a happy person. You decide if you're a depressed person. These are things that in real time you can affect in your brain. This is all you can control on Earth. If you can't control that, then you're just a feather in the wind. And life's going to blow you around, and you might land somewhere good, you might land in dog shit, nobody knows. Everybody understands that you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Everybody understands that. Everybody understands that. But they understand that and still hang around with losers. True. It's like, is that not the ultimate mark of being a dumbass? If you understand that that's the truth and you don't create your friendship and create your reality, then you're a loser. I had a guy join the war room the other day, my private network, and he joined. And we have multimillionaires in there. We have a billionaire in there. I bought a Bugatti purely to add Bugatti owners to my network. So we have Bugatti owners in there. We have guys connected to the point where I can't even say who owns on YouTube, right? A guy joined, he's 19, he ain't nothing. He goes, look, I know I don't have any value to give, but I'm just here to learn, and I understand that if I stand a chance of escaping the Matrix, you're the man I need to be around. I was like, you're absolutely intelligent. Instead of spending 19 sitting around playing video games, that's the smartest thing you could have ever done. Sure. His life's going to change forever, right? He's around people who understand. So all the people out here who sit there and go, yeah, you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around with the most, yeah, and then go hang around with dickheads. You're an idiot.
But most people are like that.
Yeah, because they're idiots, right? You have to create your reality, and there's nothing wrong with saying to people, you know what, I've outgrown you. You know what, I'm on a different path to you. You know what, X, Y, Z. Sometimes you've got to cut people off, because if you don't create your reality, they infect your energy. I have a saying, and it's not a very remarkable saying, but I use it all the time, and that's dumb shit leads to dumb shit. And I say that for an example, like let's say you leave your car on loan. You're unprofessional, you leave your car on loan. Now it gets stolen. Now there's a police case. Dumb shit leads to dumb shit. So when I'm around people who do dumb shit or unprofessional things, or they're not smooth, or they don't get their shit right, or they're negative, I refuse, because it comes true. Yeah. It's like you make it true. If I hang around with your stupid ass long enough, all the stupid shit you're talking about is going to happen to me. Yeah. So it's like you speak it into existence. So I refuse to be around it. Dumb shit leads to dumb shit. Everyone I talk to is such a fucking winner that when I sit around, all I can do is accidentally win. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit, bam, more money. You have to be very, very selective, and you have to very, very carefully create your reality. And that's why I created the War Room, because it's a global network, but you have to be global, and you have to be online nowadays. Because if you're a normal dude living a normal life, you're never going to meet winners in day-to-day life. Yeah. Because they're all slaves. Yeah. So you have to find that guy in Singapore who's a winner, those 2 guys in Dubai who's a winner, 1 in London. Like, it's hard now. Yeah. It's getting harder and harder. I'm going to tell you how to get rich. If you're a scientist, you never ever wake up, go into the lab, pour the right chemicals, and fix the problem. That doesn't happen. You go into the lab, you try some shit, it fucks up. You try some new shit, it fucks up. And you keep fucking around until something kind of works. So, mistakes, eventually something goes well. So I say this to people, look, how many ways have you tried to earn money? You earn money X way. How many other ways have you tried? Because you need to try a whole ton of ways, and you got to make a bunch of mistakes, like a scientist does, to find the thing that works. And everyone's heard this before, right? And then they'll say they have 2 hurdles to doing that. 1, they're lazy. And 2, they'll say, well, I have ideas, but I don't know how to start. Or I have ideas, but I need money to start. So then, what you have to do, and this is one of the things I teach on CobraTake.com in my Hustlers University, is you have to look at your business ideas and your plans and find a way to remove the need for money to attempt them. So my philosophy on business is this. Any business in the world that could genuinely work without investment. People get this idea in their head, I need loads of money. So, and every single business I've tried, I will find a way to launch it for effectively free. And if it starts to make money, then maybe I'll put money. Or then maybe I have some balance sheet, I can go to an investor and get money. But everyone has this idea they need money first.
If you were in a room with ice cream experts, and all they talked about was ice cream, how to make it, how to store it, how to move it, the different flavors, the size of the cartons it's in, how much it costs to produce. If all they talked about was ice cream and you were in that room, sooner or later, when someone comes to you to ask you something about ice cream, you're going to know the answer. Yeah. But you're going to accidentally know some shit about ice cream. If you're in a room of people who only talk about money, so you need to be around people who are about it. And the problem is with the people out here, everyone has a dream, but not many people have a plan. A dream and a plan are different things. When you say to guys, do you want to be rich? Yeah, I want to be rich. How will you get rich? One day when a shit comes in. So you can have a dream with no plan. When's the last time something fantastic has ever happened on accident? When's the last time you've seen a big jacked dude and you say, hey man, how'd you get so jacked? And he goes, dunno, oops. Dunno, it just happened. No, he planned it. He went to the gym, he ate a certain way, he planned his meals. He had to make it happen. It's exactly the same with getting rich. You need a plan to get rich, right? Everyone out there has a dream, but very few people have a plan. Yep. If you're surrounded by people who have a plan to get rich, and you provide value to them in some way, because they're not going to drag you up if you ain't doing nothing, because that's what friendship is. Friendship is value exchange. Yeah. If you provide value to them, sooner or later you're going to begin to make money. Let me tell you something. When I was broke, like I said, I have a bunch of money now. I was broke. This is not like I was broke, but from like a middle-class family. I was broke, single mother, public government housing, no car. I had to run to the gym, broke. When I was flat broke, the only of my friends I'd sit around and talk to were my friends who would talk about money. Mm-hmm. The guys who would sit and talk about video games or sit around and talk about football, I wouldn't hang around with them. I only used to sit and talk to my friends about money. None of us had any money, right? But if we walked into a coffee shop and we bought coffee, we would then sit there over our coffee and analyze, how did this coffee shop make us give them our money? Because that's what's happened. We've given our money to this coffee shop. Mm-hmm. Why? Did we really want coffee? Where is it located? Is it a convenient location? Is it because of the brand of the coffee? Is it because the waitress is cute? Why are we in this particular coffee shop? Why didn't we go to that one? Why are we in this one? If we were to open up a coffee shop next door, how could we outcompete this one? What's the rent for this place? What's the margin on a cup of coffee? Everyone in here's a man. If you notice, everyone in here's a man in a business suit. Why is the person serving not a hot girl? Why is it a guy? Do they sell sandwiches? Do they sell cake? Like, start to actually think. Think about the money. And then if you do that every single time you spend money on anything, you're going to end up realizing there's tons of gaps. There's gaps in the market everywhere. You'll start to sit there and go, you know what? I can open up a coffee shop right next door to this coffee shop. Change this, this, and this, and murder this place. But people don't think about it. People just give their money away all day, and it never even crosses their mind about how they were convinced to give their money away.
The people that we read about, the people that we admire, Elon Musk's, the Steve Jobs, the Warren Buffetts, etc., all have one thing in common. They have extremely high self-esteem. The high-performance people, the one thing that they all have in common is they're hungry. Hungry for a better life. Hungry for change. Hungry for the tough love their parents didn't give them. 87% of everybody that walks the face of the earth, 7.65 billion people, are unhappy. I didn't know till I got grown up and was an adult that everybody didn't have self-esteem. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-confidence. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-worth. Growth only comes through pain. No pain, no gain. It's the same in life. Tough love gets the job done. It's bloody hard to be a high-performance person. Being a high-performance person is a full-time job. I'm like this 24/7, 365, and I've been like this for the better part of 50 years. I'm always like this. I'm always pushing the edge of the envelope. Most people procrastinate because they're unsure, so just do it. But I've never had a problem just doing it. Because one of the things is you learn as a young combat infantry officer is time costs lives. We overanalyze because we're unsure. We don't overanalyze because we are not sure if it'll work or not. We're more worried about, on the emotional side, it embarrassing us. But being liked doesn't get you a raise when you're working for wherever you're working for. Efficiency, accountability. If you want $1 million, you'll make $1 million, not $1.5 million. If you want 10 million, 100 million, and you'll never exceed that. You will never exceed your highest expectation. You will never exceed your highest, craziest thought. Never. That's a guarantee. Ted Turner just gave his 75th anniversary party on CNN a few months ago. And he makes a couple of comments, and he says, number one, and I'm not suggesting this for everybody. It's how I lived, though. First 10 years of my starting CNN, I slept on my couch. I didn't have an apartment. Bill Gates slept in the office. Steve Jobs slept in the office. And I can go down a whole list. Now, these are super successful, mega wealthy guys. I slept in my office. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice. But it's not the only thing. But even if you don't sleep in your office, if you want to send your kids to a better school, if you want to be able to take care of your mother when she gets dementia, if you want to, this all takes money. My children aren't getting any of my money when I die. Not one centavo, not one penny. And two of my kids are cool with it. One of them's not so cool with it. I'm not going to, I think Andrew Carnegie, by the way, Andrew Carnegie, arguably the richest, most successful entrepreneur of all time. He said the best thing that you can have for a child is him to be born into poverty. And I agree. Of course, you've heard me say this before, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. And unfortunately, we're with our parents the first 7 or 8 years of life. Ergo, we don't have too much high self-esteem. But to build high self-esteem, and the way you build high self-esteem, if you're 25, 35, or 45, is to be around, surround yourself with other people that have high self-esteem. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with. You're 22 years old, you're 32, you're 41 years old, and there's a guy or a gal who's 45 years old who is where you want to be. They've accomplished a lot of things. If you're into, they're saving the world, they're using their money for good causes, go associate with those people. Be around those people. And they're easy to find. But they're not going to knock on your door. They're not going to come to your apartment or your flat and ask you, oh, can I help you? Your parents probably told you, you can be anything you want. But you can't. That's horseshit. You can't. If it's all juxtaposed. But what you tell them is that you can do anything you want that you have passion for. Because that eliminates most of the crap. Because most people don't follow their dream. Like they say in The Sound of Music, you can't have a dream come true unless you have a dream. Now, I still dream. I dream in Technicolor. I say my affirmations and goals every single night. And that's why affirmations work so effectively. Because your subconscious doesn't know you're full of shit. And when you tell your subconscious 1,000,000 times, and then every success you have is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The world-class athletes, 20 years, they see themselves standing on the podium getting a gold medal at the Olympics. They were able to do that. But you'll never exceed your most bodacious goal. If you say, I've got mentees, I'm going to go to the Olympics. They went, they didn't get a medal. I've got mentees that I'm going to go to the Olympics and I'm going to medal. What the fuck's that mean? They get a bronze. Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell the leather, touch the leather, okay? I went to $1 million houses, and my wife and I would walk through the house, and they'd say, when are your parents getting here, kids? No, we are the buyers. Practice within when you're without. Practice being successful. How many people listening to this today practice being successful today? Through affirmations, through going to the Rolls Royce dealer, maybe Lamborghini, maybe something else. In my particular case, it was Rolls Royce. And within a year of me going to Rolls Royce dealer, I had a Rolls. Okay? Within 19 months of me dreaming and adding it to my goals, a castle on an island, I own Guthrie Castle. 19 months.
Okay.
Go to stores you can't afford. Go hire lawyers you can't afford. Lawyers will meet with anybody. Accountants will meet with anybody. Go to the big four accountants with a business idea. The first couple meetings are for free. Jettison probably a lot of the people you'll hang around with. If you have poor public speaking skills, join Toastmasters. Do these. If you go into a good school and you're not successful, go to the alumni deals. Okay? I didn't go to a good school. I'm a perfect living example that a lot of trouble as a kid, working class background, my parents, went to just a mediocre university that I flunked out of 3 times before I finally graduated with honors, but and had no money to begin with, $820. So it's all possible.
If I were to give you a choice of a single cent, single penny, that doubles every day for 31 days, or €1,000,000 in cash right now, how many people would take the €1,000,000 in euro? So what is the root control factor? If we were to boil everything down to the most core controlling factor to all the results in your life, what does it come down to? Your life is controlled by one factor. There's only one thing that will determine whether at the end of a life you end up living here or whether you end up living here. There's only one thing that determines whether you end up driving this or whether you end up driving this. Your whole life comes down to one thing. What's the one thing? It all comes down to choices. Your whole life is nothing but the accumulated compound effect of the choices you've made up to this moment. Right now, your waistline is nothing but the accumulated compound effect of the choices you've made up to this moment. The size of your business, your bank account, the intimacy of the relationships in your life are all just an outcome of the compounded choices you've made up to this point. Success is not a result of some heroic feats. Nobody you see on the cover of Success magazine did anything heroic. It is not because of some grand act of bravery. Success is a result of small, seemingly insignificant, moment-to-moment choices. The only thing that separates them from you is that accumulated compound effect of those little choices that created dramatic differences in results. These small choices add up to big, gargantuan differences in results. If I were to give you a choice of a single cent, single penny, that doubles every day for 31 days, or €1,000,000 in cash right now, how many people would take the €1,000,000 in euro? All right, last offer, okay? Penny that doubles every day for 31 days, or €3,000,000 in euro